Archive. Tracy Owens and Ann Owens. Mom, I need help. I think I've been kidnapped. Mom, please help me. What, Tracy, sweetheart, where are you? I don't know. Where were you when they last took you? Anything will help Trace. Anything will help Trace. Tell me anything. I was at a party at Rachel's. I don't remember after that. I think I'm on a ship. Oh, the freight. I took those guys out. That's where I did the knife test, the knife throw test, and the reboot. I called the police. Trace, they're looking for you. I love you. And then I showed up. Fucked them up. Peter, we're in NC. Finally, sending my people. No worries. Give us a minute. Getting the merch ready to hand over. What do you need these tired, unwashed masses for, anyways? I mean, just saying. They've been here a week in these containers, not so fresh. Who the fuck asked for your opinion? Just saying is all. Any more unsolicited advice you want to share? Oh, maybe you know what to do with them better than I do, huh? Sorry, didn't mean to offend you. Oh, you think I'm offended? I'm sorry, really. Whatever for. Look, I don't want any trouble. We're here, waiting for your people, okay? Choom, I'm just messing with you. Chill. Sending my chooms your way. Sending my chooms your way. Feels like it's the same thing. Potentially. The whole shipment thing. Sending my chooms your way. We got a owner's manual to the Thornton. Is this a car? Congratulations, you're a new proud owner of a Thornton. I am? Someone was. Maybe. I don't know. We are proud to offer our Thornton guarantee for reliability and convenience at an affordable price. Before you embark on your new adventures behind the wheel of your new Thornton, please take the time to read the owner's manual. We are not going to read it. Is there something funny in here? For real? You're just literally going to just list normal things, huh? What to do in emergency maintenance and care, sir? Yeah. Just normal shit. Great. Rich, how'd you find me? Oriel. Orelli? How do you think? I cut through your firewall like a hot knife through butter. Outdates code gates, prehistoric system architecture. Your firmware's got more holes than a gangbang joy toy. Get to the point. I think NetWatch found my BBS. What? BBS, a place where networkers can exchange info without fear of being watched, like a hacker club. Get it? Okay, but what do I have to do with it? Your agency has access to one of them. If you could sniff them out, check it. I'll give you the coordinates. No, I can't. Please, if they find us, they won't bother with arresting and interrogating. Do you understand? I'm sorry, I already told you. We're through. If you want help, ask Max. Maybe apart from his supposedly huge dick, he's got some useful contacts. What is this? I don't remember this one. Maybe that thing I stumbled on underneath 11? Underneath the mega building 11? Server room or something? A bunch of tigers down there or something. I don't know. Beyond the border of empathy. Last night on TV, I saw the following scene: a Militech squad in some debris-ridden corner of the Middle East fighting the enemy, terrorists, political opponents. Shit, maybe they were just actors. It doesn't matter. It never really mattered in the first place. One of them was wearing recording equipment, scrolling a brain dance. I can count on finding that fresh BD in any shop within days. Turn it on and bam, you're in a war zone. You feel what they feel. You taste the blood in your mouth and the reassuring grip of the scroller's rifle, but that's not the worst of it. The worst is how the editor will be sure to try to show off the rifle. Get a good shot of the manufacturer's name. Another split second, and you'll be ready to buy the same exact one. Even order it with the same dents and scratches. Free home delivery. Only 20 or 30 years ago, we were asking ourselves, when will we cross the border at which empathy becomes irrelevant? Now, standing in the shelled out ruins of a home with a rifle in your hands, it's hard to believe that border ever existed. Pretty good. But besides all this, this is what? The world as will and idea. Ooh. But besides all of this, death is the great opportunity no longer to be I like this already. To him who uses it. Identity. During life, the will of man is without freedom. His action takes place with necessity upon the basis of his unalterable character in the chain of motives. But everyone remembers much that he has done, memory, and an account of which he is by no means satisfied with himself. Self-reflection. If now, therefore identity, therefore I am. I think therefore I am. If now, Descartes, if now we were to go on living, if now he were to go on living, he would go on acting in the same way on account of the unalterable nature of his character. Accordingly, he must cease to be what he is in order to be able to arise out of the germ of his nature as a new and different being. Therefore, death loses these bonds. The will again becomes free, for freedom lies in the essay. Remember, like Jackie says, essay, not in the operari. Arthur Schopenhauer. There's so many. Okay, it's a big one. Okay, all right. Heading for those fuckers. Eyes open, Choom. Keep that guard up. You know it. I'm serious. Those booster heads are fucking nuts. Chill. I can take care of myself, Choom. Sure. Anyway, once you push all that stuff you know, go back to the stash for more. Coordinates. The fuck you send me that for? Sorry, clicked something by accident. Keep the address in my phone. Just trying to remember where it is. My thumb slipped. Oops. You keep shit like that on your phone? You fucking gonked in the head? Just in case I forget, Choom. This might have been another passcode or something. Fucking hell. Delete that shit now. Sure, okay. Don't sure okay me. Do it now. Or you'll forget. It's gone. Yeah, just a sec. I'm driving. Bet a million eds your gonk ass forgets. I don't know. I might be losing what that is. Saxon Chrome. Waves of pleasure cascade over my body, filling every pore of my being like ocean water through hot sand. More, I want more. How long I waited to feel his breath on my neck, his hands wrapped around my waist, his fingers caressing my lips. Our bodies are entwined in a primal dance, moving faster and faster to the rhythm of the creaking bed springs, our skin bathed in flickers of neon. I can't hear myself moaning, but I must be, since my throat is dry. I can't feel what my hands are doing, but the blood under my fingernails means I'm digging into his back. He's no longer kissing me, but nibbling, biting, pulling himself towards me harder. His control over me untamed, animalistic. It's so hot in the room that even his chrome is overheating. The bed sheets clinging to our sweat-soaked bodies. Saxon Chrome. Oh, okay. I guess it's just an upgraded pleasure toy? I don't know. Kendachi. New spring catalog. What is this? Kendachi. Armaments. It is a gun. We are, at Kendachi, we are creators. We care about the customer satisfaction and the budgets by choosing our products. You can be confident no Eurodollar invested goes to waste. Kendachi. The choice is obvious. This is the thing, is like those websites, they could turn into this. Like once you go to one of the web pages, it could just show you a whole section here that would be like websites visited. And then it would just be typed like this, so it's easy to read. For our blade buffs, our iconic power sword is back and better than ever. Ooh, power sword? Dice your foes into tiny pieces without breaking a sweat, using our latest micro-serrated crystal blade technology with highest quality materials crafted into the lethal yet elegant design. The power sword will look as good as your mantle, on your mantle as it does in your hand. Kendachi Mono 2 Classic. You can't improve upon perfection. This time honored twin blade has been in continuous production since 2019, lit by a custom color handle embedded laser. The Mono 2 has never gone out of style. Block every blow and slice through it. Any defense. We wouldn't keep making them if people weren't buying them. Order yours today. Kendachi Mono Wire. A weapon as discreet as it is deadly, made for those who desire power, but have no urge to flaunt it. This molecule thin blade is manufactured by our teams of expert engineers in our state-of-the-art orbital factory. The monowire can bear loads of up to 3,000 pounds and slices through armor weaves like butter-flavored scoop spread. Rumor is, many officials at the Zurich convention wanted this weapon banned and off the market. Now, if that's not high praise, we don't know what is. Fall of the First Net, Chapter 1. The Apocalypse. His name was Ratch Bartmoss. Everyone knows who destroyed the first net. The real question is why. Netwatch branded him a criminal and outlaw. The media called him a madman. Is either label correct? You be the judge. Below is a previously unpublished letter which Bartmoss put out just before the release of Rabbits. Why has this document only now just emerged? Well, someone out there did not want you, my dear readers, to ever lay eyes on it. All the more reason to take a deep dive into information available to us. Maria Jimenez. The first net was supposed to save us. It would serve as a platform for those without a voice. It would offer unlimited knowledge to those who hungered for it. It would bring a fractured humanity closer together than ever before in our history. But these hopes were hollow, false. The net spread its tendrils around the globe faster than anyone could have predicted. Before anyone could even consider the full range of consequences, this information superhighway turned out to be our path straight to hell. We were robbed of our privacy, deprived of our free will, stripped of our dignity. It was supposed to save us, but now, even the net itself cannot be saved. It was molded by the corpse, with sharp edges, spikes, and traps at every corner. Think of the net as a stream of water that flows gently into our minds before freezing, swelling, and destroying us from the inside out. But remember this about ice. As hard as it may be, it's surprisingly brittle. One well-placed strike and it shatters into a million tiny pieces. Watch out today, and you'll see just what I mean. Watch out today, and you'll see what I mean. Okay, well, we're almost at the end. Now I'm just tempted to keep pushing. Okay. Tai Tang and Daisuke Morita. I'm here, bartender says. Maelstrom threatened him. He didn't have a choice. They just barged in, told him to start pouring. Said he had to. Morita. Yeah, well, he could have called. This is our turf. He couldn't. He was scared. But he wasn't scared of us? He didn't tell me a thing. Yeah, of course he didn't. He doesn't know shit. What could he? So maybe we tell him, go. I mean, what else is he supposed to do? This is our fucking turf. He shouldn't have called us. Instead of throwing a fucking party. Beat his ass. It's the principle of the fucking thing. I don't know what that's from. So that's lost on me. Hideo, I need you to go herd some pigs. Remind them where their turf ends and ours begins. Sure thing. Redwood. Got it. I know that's going to bring context and maybe some of those random things that I stumbled in on. And they all seem to have just enough of a random story attached. I don't know. That sounds crazy to me if that's possible. Archive Patrol. Dispatch. Calling all units in Westbrook. I repeat, calling all units in Westbrook. 2891 reporting. 1020 Westbrook. Head to Redwood Street in Japantown. Order to increase our pressure in the area. Coming from the chief, Japantown, alone. Requesting additional units for backup. Request denied. This some pre-election stunt? That's Tiger Turf. Are you refusing to comply? 2891. Come in and respond. Negative. Order accepted. Will comply. Fucking chief. 2891. Say again. Fuck. Nothing. Copy that. Oh no. Well, something happened there. Okay. The fall of Etemenenki. Etemenenki. Sure. Go with that. All ye mighty look in despair, for here lived the city, in the far-off land of Shinir, where once was clay tamed and wrought, to build a temple among the narrow streets, where the howl of crazed prophets rose from their skiff, and the shadow of the ziggurat fell across the sands. Look in despair, for here rose the tower, strong as a tongue glazed in spit, held fast in the scaffolding of throats on the vocal cords, up which were pulled buckets of mortar, prayers, fragments of code, late cuneiform, on tablets plated with copper, encrusted with tin. Look and remember, for here she fell, and her name was Babel. Oh, the Tower of Babel thing? Second time I've seen this pop up. Oh, Babel of dreams, lest we be scattered over the face of the earth, asked the archaeologist beyond the Totantans. I feel like I've seen that word before too. How she crumbled to dust, the soft down of dialect. How the deserts tore her, how the sands of time ground her, until the word was ground fine and scattered among us. Look and beware in the final hours of night, for the sun shall rise over the ruins, and dawn shall once again melt from the rubble the memory of the city, its original source. All right. Richard Knight. This is the life of Richard Knight. Richard Knight was a pessimist. Even in the late 80s, when the economy seemed headed for endless growth and the nuclear threat for the ash heap of history, Knight saw the United States as hurtling towards collapse. Richard Knight was an optimist. He deeply believed the world could be changed for the better, and that he was the one to do it. Richard Knight was a realist, aware he couldn't change the face of the world all at once. He decided to start small, for him at least, by constructing the ideal city. His utopian metropolis was to be called Coronado. Oh, that's where again. It was It would stand as a metaphorical city on a hill, a shining example to the rest of the world. Richard Knight was doomed to fail, not because his vision was inherently impossible to realize, but because many important, powerful people wished to make it so. Richard Knight was murdered. The city whose foundation he laid was finished after his death, but his utopian dream soon became a dystopian nightmare. Even the original name was lost. In honor of the city's tragically deceased founder, Coronado City was rechristened Night City. Ironically, the name fits. If anything, the city is a cat, sleeping during the day. It comes frantically alive at night, and it loves to toy with its prey. I'm about to sneeze. Two more. The Flowers of Silence, a biography of Hanako Arasaka. Ooh, Hanako. If I had written this biography on the basis of publicly available material, there would be two sides of this story, not to mention the foreword afterwards and the acknowledgments. Everyone knows that Hanako Arasaka is a very private individual. Everyone has heard about the tragic death of the last reporter who attempted to pen her life story. 10 shots to the back, suicide, according to the police. That's why when my publisher asked me to write this book, I had to politely decline. Then, when I saw the advance they were offering me, I started to reconsider. And finally, when I discovered that Arasaka PR department had given its stamp of approval to interview numerous members of Hanako's entourage, I was on the next flight to Tokyo. Soon enough, however, I lost my original enthusiasm. The people at Arasaka sent me to be interviewed, repeated the same answers to all questions, clearly memorized by heart. After a month's worth of research, all I had was, Hanako Arasaka is the daughter of Saburo Arasaka from his third wife, Michiko. She was born in 1999 in Tokyo and has only left the city 5 times in her life, living a cloistered lifestyle. She never fulfilled any important role in the family business. She is very close to Yorinobu Arasaka, the black sheep in the family. I was ready to give up when the archives of a local TV station I found a recording of the opening of the Arasaka branch in Fukuoka, graced by the presence of none other than Hanako herself. She played the piano, Debussy's Reverie. Why that piece? Why play a dreamy, introspective song while surrounded by stoic Japanese businessmen? Her golden fingers caressed the keys. I was mesmerized. Tears rolled down my cheeks as I listened. That's when I knew I had to finish the book. I had to meet this enigmatic woman and find out who Hanako Arasaka really was. Cyberware usage and its side effects. Many people believe we live in a time when impossible has become an obsolete term. Ripper dogs can replace nearly any part of the human body with artificial implants, from your big toe to portions of the nervous system. My years in trauma team, however, taught me that the impossible is still very much possible, even now. As we enter the twilight of the 21st century, we as medical professionals have not been able to eliminate all of the side effects that come from incorporating cybernetic elements into our bodies. Of course, everyone is familiar with the mental disorder, most commonly referred as cyberpsychosis, but it doesn't end there. Although advances in medical science for the greater part of the century have reduced its incidence to a minimum, cyberware rejection can still occur in a small subset of the population. These unlucky few can experience a range of complications, but the following are the most prevalent. 1. Immune response. The body rejects the implant, causing scar tissue to continue growing to the point that it causes pain and inflammation of surrounding tissue, as well as possible interference with the attached electrical circuits. 2. Psychological effects. Neurological implants have the potential to cause unpredictable changes in the brain. Possible side effects include depression, apathy, hallucinations, and sudden increase in addictive behaviors such as gambling. 3. Implant overdependence. Long-term use of certain synthetic body parts replacements can change the brain's chemistry to make it accustomed to a particular type of implant. There are reported cases of permanent blindness after patients attempted to replace their Kiroshi optical implants with different models. In the face of these known risks, what should our outlook be as consumers and medical professionals? To deny ourselves cybernetic enhancements on the 0.5% chance we could lose our vision forever? Gamble away our life savings at the casino? The clear answer is no. Cyberware technology has elevated human biology to the point where these what-if arguments serve against our best interest. The best advice I can offer for minimizing your risk is to read the techno-medical profiles for all cyberware you intend to purchase before you install it. Think about what the medical professional would actually be in a setting like this. Like, you can't just be a doctor anymore. You got to be like you got to be a techno doctor. You got to know mechanics and electronics, and you got to know all of those things. That's crazy shit. I still had world and articles left to do. World is close. Fine. Okay. Outer space. My life in orbit. It's a block of text, you know. Oh man, wow. I'm not even gonna say the time right now. Okay, there's only 4 in world, so here we go. Outer space, my life in orbit. What's life in space like? Comfortable. Of course, not everything's a bed of roses. Gravity below 1G isn't great for your bones or muscles. Synthesized food isn't to die for, and stuff from Earth is as rare as it is expensive. If you live in private orbital stations, congrats, you're richer than me. You always see the same faces, but if you live in a hybrid station like Crystal Palace, you'll have to live with corporate bachelor parties every weekend. But don't let that put you off. There are more upsides than downsides to living in orbit. I've got this idea of like a DLC, like kicking us up onto either the moon or to these like orbital stations. Like there's no reason why they couldn't do that. I've seen enough lore already saying that yes, they could, and I could see them do it. First of all, safety. To get into orbit, you need a lot of zeros in your bank account, which means you won't see legions of homeless people, skeezed out gangsters, or aggressive joy toys. The exception to that being the lunar colonies, but no self-respecting orbital dweller would ever set foot there. In other words, you can walk outside at night unarmed, without security, and come back home in one piece, wallet undisturbed. Amazing, right? Secondly, quality of service. Anyone in the customer service sector had to rack up on. This is like a massive. It's like a cruise ship that you live on in space. In orbit. Anyone in the customer service sector had to rack up an enormous debt to come here. Their only hope to pay it off within their lifetimes is to rack in a lot, and I mean a lot, of tips, which means they'll bend over backwards to satisfy every whim. If you're an employer, you don't have to worry about an employee you just hired and trained at your expense will suddenly quit and go work for competition for a few extra eddies a week. Many stations, especially the private ones, simply don't have competition, and if they do, it's basically negligible. Agreements can be made so situations like that don't occur. Thirdly, and most importantly, no government can tell you what to do, where and how. Orbital stations are autonomous and governed by their own laws, and there aren't that many of them. If you can afford your own station, you're the undisputed lord and master of your little corner of space. You want to tie the help up to a whipping post when they make a mistake? Go right ahead. Want 5 wives or 4 husbands? I'm sure they'll have a line of willing volunteers. I did Under the Stars and Stripes by Rosalind Myers. The 20th century brought upon us great tragedy, nuclear war, catastrophic climate change, widespread hunger. Worst of all, the dissolution of the United States of America, our great nation, has often been forged and reforged in the polarizing fires of internal struggle. North against South, Democrat against Republican, corporations against federal government. But we as people knew how to temper this discontent and become stronger for it, even by force in our darkest hours. This has always been and continues to be our moral duty to the land we love and serve. Humankind had never before known a nation like the United States. We were the soldiers, protectors of the free world. Our armies maintained order. Our universities fueled innovation and progress. Our industry spurred growth and prosperity. Our press voiced the truths of our collective conscience. But when the United States tragically collapsed, so too did civilization. The time comes again, as it has so many times before, for America to rise up and set the world on a new trajectory of hope. However, we can only achieve our goals of a better tomorrow if we do not lose sight of who we are. We must now rally together beneath our star-spangled banner of these new United States. We must push aside those corporations and rogue states who denounce and would deny our pursuit of happiness. We must sacrifice them for our common good. I ask you to fight against those who would divide us, with debate, with pride, with blood and iron. The Warsaw Catholic faith and its origin. As Saint Augustine of Hippo taught us, to err is to be human, but to err willingly is to perform the work of Satan. Pope Ferdinand I and his successors are guilty of this heinous sin for the perversion of Christ's teachings and their worship of the golden calves of technology and mammon. They have not only chosen this path to perdition for themselves, but have attempted to tempt the Lord's flock to follow for the sake of the millions of eternal souls he loves so dearly. Cardinal Konrad Ludnowski made the only decision God would allow. Seeing that the Vatican had renounced our Lord and Savior, he rescinded his nomination to head the Holy See, and instead rested the weight of the newly founded Polish papacy on his shoulders and moved the seat of the church to Lich in Poland. 1. What do Warsaw Catholics believe? Warsaw Catholics believe that one true God and recognize family as defined by the laws of nature our Lord has provided, and in accordance with the traditions hallowed by the blood of our ancestors. 2. When you say, I believe in God, what do you mean? It means we acknowledge the truth that there is one true God, whose wisdom is infinite and unchanging, who commands our obedience, who compels us to raise families founded on love and faith, who have tested Poland with great suffering as he tested Job, thus demonstrating that Poland is God's chosen land. 3. Through whom did God reveal what we are to believe? None, but his only Son, Jesus Christ, whose earthly voice is now spoken through the Pope as elected by the Polish Episcopal Conference. Why believe the Word of God? Because only through faith can we be saved and find eternal peace in heaven. Only through faith can we be true Poles, worshiping, thinking, and speaking in Polish in accordance with the customs of our fathers and mothers. Why be me? Confessions of a brain dance addict. Preface. Do you want to be you? Seriously, take a moment to let that question sink in. Do you feel at home in your skin? Do you like your job, your friends, your family? When you look in the mirror, do you say to yourself, I'm the luckiest person alive? Then hop in the leather upholstered back seat of your chauffeured Rayfield? If you answered yes to any of those questions, put down this book and stop wasting your valuable time. If you answered no to the above, I understand just how you feel. It used to be said at the turn of the century that the world belonged to the 1%. Today, 1,000% is closer to the truth, and your chances of joining this group are even less than that. In this reality, I mean, where you are you. In a brain dance, you can be anyone. A broker who manages a portfolio worth trillions, an elite soldier who blasts his enemies out of existence with a tech shotgun, a suave rocker boy whom the whole world lusts after. Now, I ask you again, of the millions upon millions of people in this world, do you want to be you? The answer for me was always no. And so my story begins. Sergio Morales. Okay, looks like I'm committing. Safe and sound to Night City gangs. Hi there, it's your friendly neighborhood K9 Sergeant Dobbs. Remember this, Sergeant Dobbs, the dog thing? To help kids learn about streets. Where did I learn about that? That was something else. Was it a cartoon? Was it a cartoon? Commercial? Was it a picture? Something? Sergeant Dobbs, this useful little guide you are holding contains essential information on Night City's largest... Oh, it's on a website. Are these the websites converted into actual articles? Maybe. No, maybe not. Largest gangs, where you learn which districts to avoid, how to recognize gang members, how to avoid dangerous situations. No, I think it just talks... Oh yeah, it's all the gangs. We already know about these. I mean, I could read them all, I guess, again. But animals, the animals aren't real animals. They're freaks of nature, pumped to the gills with strength-enhancing hormones. They look more like piles of meat than people. They generally avoid... I still have to meet them. They generally avoid cyberware with the exception of cosmetic modifications that supposedly make them look more like, well, animals. Like they're extremely aggressive and don't need an excuse to start a brawl. But despite their name, the animals are not a territorial gang. You can find fierce, hostile packs of them throughout the city. 6th Street Gang. From a distance, they could be easily mistaken for soldiers on leave. Military uniforms, combat boots, buzz cuts, shouting Dora? I don't know, Ora? Every chance they get. But don't let appearances fool you. These are violent, dangerous thugs, ready to slit your throat without the slightest hesitation. You'll want to watch out for them, especially in Vista del Rey. The Mocks. Handsome girls, beautiful girls. But wait, it's a trap. They'll reel you in with their charm, and when you're least expecting it, bam, your eddies are gone. Or worse, a hole in the wall that passes for their headquarters is called Lizzie's Bar. Best seen from far away and never entered. Best gun ever. I like that group, actually. Maelstrom. If you ever find yourself in Watson industrial area, and it's better that you don't, watch out for the sinister faceplates. That's Maelstrom. To be a part of the gang, you have to get your eyes and nose cut off and replaced with demonic fiery red optics. Ouch. It's because of the cartoon dog kind of writing this. If they do that to themselves, who knows what they'll do to strangers. Better to leave that mystery unsolved. Tiger Claws. effervescent neon tattoos with Asian motifs, katanas, and shurikens, racing bikes. These are some of the trademarks of the Tiger Claw gangs, with a noticeable presence in Japantown. Ignore them, and they shouldn't bother you. But do something to provoke them, like walk a little bit too close to them. They get all bitchy and shit and get aggressive. Then it's sayonara, baby. Valentinos, golden grills, golden implants, golden crosses, and golden machetes. Say hola to the Valentinos. Despite the Catholic symbolism, they're not exactly love thy neighbor types. Those who get in their way usually end up chopped into pieces and tossed into the Del Coronado. Voodoo Boys. These predominantly Haitian gangers are based in Pacifica, but they hunt their victims elsewhere. The Voodoo Boys are the most skilled net runners in the Night City underworld. But beware, that doesn't mean they're not dangerous in real space too. Be sure to give them a wide berth. You may just end up like one of their black roosters without a head. Oh boy, wow. Okay, so a wicked acid trip, but not the kind you think. Ever wondered what it feels like to fall into a pool of acid? You finally have the chance before... No, oh, that... Do brain dance? Before I ever even got my copy of Kings of Acid, my curiosity had already nosedived after I found out it wasn't about that type of acid. And honestly, body horror has such a rich tradition, it's a damn near Herculean task to find a fresh angle to take it on. But holy shit, did the devs do it. You play as Arthur Cure, a klutzy and somewhat awkwardly rocker boy who gets himself tangled up in a shitstorm with Maelstrom. The Borgoons entrust Kerr with handling a mysterious shipment containing a protozoa capable of instantaneous regeneration. But in an unlucky twist, a painful common occurrence for our hero, a rival gang ambushes the exchange at a corp science lab, and Kier is pushed into a vat of mutagenic acid. That's when the trip kicks in, if you will. The rocker boy begins undergoing constant mutation. Eyeballs are stalks, shifting skins, throat tentacles, and that's not even the real freaky stuff. After every victory in combat, Arthur absorbs the genetic code from the blood splatter of his foes, making the already delightful hack and slash combat even more gratifying. The constantly growing spiral of possible mutations makes for a rewarding way to spend experience points and builds in strong replayability. Wait a minute, this is a video game. All in all, Kerr's ultimate motivation is seeking bloody revenge against his music producer who cost him, or is it, who cost him a lucrative album deal and brutally murdered the rocker boy's boyfriend. Story and gameplay, okay, are genuinely intertwined, and the pseudo brain dance, it's both, and the pseudo brain dance implants shipped with each game copy really helps immerse players in the utterly fucked mutations where searing pain turns to power jacked ecstasy. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on this one. That's messed up. That's messed up, I said. Night City, nightlife, drinks, dancing, debauchery. If you're a dance head like us, don't miss out on Lizzie's. You'll find no better brain dance club in the city, no matter how deep you dig. Modern boxes, solid tech, but most important, the catalog, chock full of nearly any experience you can imagine. You'll find everything you need to get you off, fast or slow, nasty or classy, and everything in between. Don't let the girls at the front door scare you off or kill your buzz. They're wary of newcomers, but once you get in, they'll treat you like one of their own. Trust us, give Lizzie's a try, and you'll never go anywhere else. Now, the afterlife, that's a different story. Sure, you can cut loose and have a good time there, but the afterlife is a place of business above all else. Want to meet with a fixer about a job that needs doing, discuss important gig details with a client over drinks, or maybe just sit back and people watch to see the comings and goings of the NC Underworld's biggest merc and fixer names. The afterlife is a great place for all of the above. The only place, really. If you're looking for the city's marquee events, you'll find yourself at Riot, chart-topping playlists, live performances from the brightest stars, both local and from around the world, DJ battles, unique music shows, and media-packed album premieres. Sound like you're seen? Don't miss out on Riot. Is that the place I took out but then wrecked myself? Maybe. Slav DJ McAllister in the news again. Pompous asshole or eccentric genius. Acclaimed rocker boy Slavoj McAllister has ruffled feathers yet again, following his most recent performance at a nightclub Totentans. While a rock concert brawl is no big news in itself, several unofficial sources allege it was McAllister who instigated the violent outbreak after hurling a tear gas canister at paparazzi in the crowd. Before the booze-fueled melee got heated, the courtesan duelists premiered new songs Cybernetic Soul, Minded Freedom, and Cogito Ergo Sum, which, as usual, have critics divided. Lyrically, the new singles touch on issues such as the internal struggle of body and mind, the limitations of our senses, and the search for absolute truths. Some critics consider the new material pseudo-intellectual drivel. Others praise the band's fresh, innovative spin on the genre. Beyond the brawl, even the McAllisters' headlines are making headlines. When asked in an interview with N54 News what the cryptic title of the track Cogito Ergo Sum meant, the rocker boy replied, "He ain't revved by questions from gank-brained frauds. What are you?" Despite, or perhaps thanks to, the numerous controversies ever swirling around the courtesan duelists, is that right? Cartesian. Damn it. It's at the O, the A's, you know this. The Cartesian duelist frontman, his popularity continues to swell. The band's new album is slated for release soon, and if you believe the chatter on the net, it will be entitled War of Truths. Tourism advisory: stay within city limits. Stick to city center for safety. Unfortunately, the areas surrounding United Cities still pose significant risks to travelers. The city stands on the disputed border between North and South California. The echoed cracks of gunfire can be heard coming from this political fault line day and night. Although border patrols bravely and tirelessly pursue illegal migrant caravans and hunt down merciless bands of nomads who prey on innocent civilians, much of the suffering of the surrounding area can nevertheless prove dangerous. To ensure your safety, several corporations have dedicated their resources to defend the city borders. Border checkpoints require special pass, and any attempt to cross without one requires security forces to open fire without hesitation. Stay on the right side of the law to avoid any unfortunate accidents. So if I tried to leave Night City before I was plot driven to do so, I would have likely been chased by drones and shot down, because that would have been an illegal crossing. Maybe, I don't know. Safe skies over Night City. Ground transportation into the city is only advised if you are accompanied by corporate or military personnel. Instead, visitors to Night City are strongly encouraged to travel by plane. Daily connections from major American cities and orbit are available. The spaceport is located on Morro Rock. You see that? Just off the coast. And is accessible from the Ring Road by exiting onto Spaceport Boulevard. The island has some of the best views of the city, so we recommend a pit stop to snap a few stills, even if you have no place to fly. I feel it. I feel like the DLC is going to be a trip up the orbit. Arasaka and ornithology, 3 Japanese words to know. As conversations over factionalism within Arasaka heat up, many industry insiders wonder about the company's future trajectory. If you struggle to understand the complicated inner machinations of the world's largest arms manufacturer, look no further than the obscure science of ornithology. Yes, that's right, the study of birds. Oh, bird thing again. The birds can help, at least in a sense. There are 3 Japanese words every corporate player ought to be familiar with: Kiji, Hato, and Taka. Kiji, green pheasant. This bird has long held cultural and symbolic significance in Japan. One can admire the world's last living specimens at Hanako, Arasaka's private preserve. Oh, look at that, on the island of Shikoku. But the word Kiji also bears meaning among the factional identities within Arasaka. This group, with Hanako at its center, consists primarily of conservative technocrats who wish to follow the course set by Saburo Arasaka himself. In his daughter Hanako, they see a guiding force to maintain the old order and stability within the corporation. Hato, dove. The symbolism of the dove is recognized far and wide. The symbol also aptly captures the character of a much smaller faction within the company, led by Michiko Arasaka, daughter of the late Kei and niece to Hanako. Okay. And asterisks, you can learn more about Arasaka's family genealogy from the 8-book series 2 Centuries in the Clover Shadow, available in stores soon. This liberal wing of the corporation has unified those who seek deeper reforms. Although they currently hold little influence, they enjoy growing support popularity among some politicians and media personalities. And we have the Taka, the hawk. As symbolically as the dove is, so too is the hawk. This faction, headed by Yorinobu Arasaka, often prefers to take the most direct and uncompromising solutions, both stubborn and temperamental. He resembles Saburo, which has given him wide support among the more militant-minded Arasaka core elite. However, his more pro-Western inclinations and ideas that are innovative as they are controversial have weakened his support from the board's loyal traditionalists. So how that ended. Storm on the Mare Crisium. By now, we're all avid viewers of the reality TV show that is Orbital Politics. More orbital stuff, man. I'm telling you. Except this is real life, and what happens up there could have real consequences for all of us down here. Recently, everyone's been talking about the attack on Ursula Correia. That sounds like a Portuguese name to me. Correia. Resulting in the complete loss of control in the lower half of her body. The media has been endlessly replaying remarks made by Correia's young brother, Wagner, while also discussing the latest outfit worn by Yora Ayode, I don't know what that language is, to the official press, maybe Nordic, I don't know, to the official press conference where she denied rumors that Correia's family had any hand in her accident. I don't know about all of you, but with each passing day, the saying, what happens in orbit stays in orbit, is starting to sound like dangerously wishful thinking. The struggle of O'Neill Station. The European Space Agency, ESA, started out with seemingly noble intentions. Will open the door to the universe, the solar system, a home to all, and so on and so forth. It didn't take long for these catchphrases to reveal themselves for what they truly were. Colonial ambitions wrapped up in lofty ideals. We, the builders and first inhabitants of O'Neill 1, have witnessed this firsthand. The ESA sent us into space with promises of a new life and better tomorrow. Instead, what lay in wait for us was a complete lack of freedom and back-breaking work in extremely dangerous conditions. We would have pulled through. We would have toughed it out for the greater good if only they treated us as human beings, informed us of their decisions, listened to our concerns and requests. But the ESA ignored us. The consequences were inevitable. In 2022, even completing construction of the station, our situation was critical. Station management demanded 18 hours of work every day, 7 days a week, from everyone, regardless of age or health condition. Our peaceful protest was met with a disproportionate use of force, which included stun guns. They thought it would break us, just like the countless protests they broke back on Earth. The thing is, out here, it's not so easy to call for reinforcements. Workers outnumbered guards 40-1, and one stun gun charge held only 15 rounds. The ESA's management had effectively shot themselves in the foot. It was over before they could realize. Only 7 hours passed before O'Neill 1 and O'Neill 2 declared independence and became the first nations established outside of Earth. That is awesome. The Vampire Prince is back. Monster hunters, beware. Turbo Dracula is a dark, gritty, visceral action game experience where you play as a plasma-thirsty prince of puncture wounds himself, Dracula. He has risen again, this time as a digiclone in a body of chrome, but his appetite for blood hasn't waned one bit. Assisted by the descendants of an ancient bloodline, he wages war against the sinister Helsing Corp, headed by the Demon Brothers, the Demon Brothers Manchesters. The Manchester Brothers. Nicely played. They aim to take over the world with the help of genetically spliced werewolf zombies. Dracula must face difficult choices such as whether to resurrect his old friend Viago or to transmute into his nemesis. A polished real-time combat system and non-linear storyline offer the player deep immersion in single-player, while the multiplayer mode allows you to team up with your Chumbas as they take control of the brooding Varney or blonde fan favorite Herbert. I know these are all references. They have to be. I feel like Herbert. I've read one with a Herbert in it. Shit. Varney? God, I know they are. Without spoiling any of the endings, yes, multiple endings, I'll leave you with just one thing. Lord Carmilla. Carmilla is the blood one of the first vampire stories ever written. Oh my god. Come on, man. Come on. Bathory. So Lady Bathory, I think, maybe. Oh, Battery. Ruthven Battery. Oh, jeez. Jeez. It is hands down the most captivating character ever written in that 100-year history of video games, period. Well, that was amusing. Sometimes those memories, they pop up. Big 5 employers in Night City, 2077. It's that time of year again. I think there's only 5. What do you mean top 5? Biggest core, okay, to work Night City. Okay, who offers paid vacations? Who pays the employees' trauma team insurance policies? Who provides discounts for daycare and child bodyguard services? Have a look at our rankings below. Arasaka coming in again this year in our #1 spot. The Japanese Zaibatsu juggernaut. Employees can expect to be fit with the latest in cyberware technology with a loyalty obligation of only 20 years. Miltech, the American arms giant, provides its employees with up to 50% discounts on all Militech weapons. With a deal that good, you'd be able to put an MK31 heavy machine gun under the Christmas tree for everyone in the family. Biotechnica. Our 2077 bronze medal goes to Biotechnica, who offers up to 6 paid vacation days a year. Kang Tao, China's largest tech and arms manufacturer, treats its employees to a gold membership with Trauma Team. Never spend a single minute of your 50-year loyalty pledge without worrying about paying for health coverage. Nightcore. While this hometown product can't compete with the biggest international players in terms of budget or ambition, they certainly know how to spoil their staff. Nightcore snuck into our Big 5 after a recent announcement to reduce the mandatory work week to just 80 hours. They are a must apply for all you family focused folks out there. Left Jab Boxers Monthly. Kazuo Kano, Ronin from Osaka. Kazuo Kono's name is on the lips of everyone in the boxing world. The up-and-coming light heavyweight remains undefeated after 20 professional fights, 17 of which were won by technical lockout. Some accuse Kano of doping, others say he has connections with the Yakuza. While training in Night City, the light heavyweight was allegedly seen receiving guests from Japan in his gym. Afterwards, they were then seen being carried out of the gym unconscious. Wide scars have been visible near Kano's ribs for the last 3 fights. Local Ripper docs say that the scars definitely do not look like an appendix removal procedure. Will Kano become the light heavyweight champion of the world? We'll see after Malone takes his revenge on Hernandez. Emergency on demand. How did it happen? When and why did we as a society decide that human life is a commodity, a luxury? My mother passed away at 45. She still had decades of life to live until it was all stolen from her by common pneumonia. If she had held even the cheapest trauma team policy, she could have been cured within an hour. But she couldn't afford it. My mother died 5 months before her scheduled appointment with our family practitioner. The idea of privatized healthcare is deeply ingrained in our public psyche. Already in 2020, there was widespread consensus that €500 a month was a fair price for trauma team insurance. Health wasn't something you were given, it was something you earned. The private system may not be perfect, but there's no alternative, we thought. Bullshit. Now, cross the Pacific Ocean to the USSR, where they also have highly trained medical technicians, high-precision nanosurgical suites, specialized antibodies, intravenous probes, and the list goes on. Emergency airlifts using modern AVs equipped with cryotonic chambers. They have those too. The difference then? They don't leave their people to die on the streets, at the store, in their homes. They don't force anyone to purchase their lives from a corporation as if they're the ones who own it. Public health care isn't such unachievable utopia. It is a reality. Trauma Team, on the other hand, treats its policyholders as both potential patients to be treated and potential products to be bought. They save lives only because there is profit in it. A saved life is a returning customer. Wow. Client death can also bring in fiscal gains in the form of organ and implant resale. though of course in regulated smaller sums. An emergency care provider can't afford to give its managers reasons to deliberately kill off its clientele base for short-term windfalls. Shit. Surely, you ask, these medical professionals are also guided by the Hippocratic oaths. Please. Looking for a career change? Join Netwatch. Tracking down Netrunner renegades, combating demons, rebuilding the American net. These are just some of the daily tasks entrusted to the special agents of Netwatch. If you'd rather lose your eyes than your deck, if an encounter with Mephistopheles is just another walk in the park for you, then maybe it's time you joined our team. Here's what you can expect to contribute as a Netwatch agent: patrolling all public access levels of the net, tracking and eradicating illegal Netrunner activity, hunting down dangerous rogue AIs, exploring and neutralizing threats in the oldest parts of the deep net, prohibiting the movement of people and AIs across the black wall. That's so cool. Assisting in the expansion of secure net space for public use. Thanks to Netwatch, thousands of people can freely use approved search engines and other net services without fear of falling victim to nefarious demon threats. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, we serve tirelessly to eliminate corrupted data forts, safeguard our information, and arrest dangerous cyber criminals. Do you have what it takes? Apply today. The wall. Why does a wall separate South California from its northern sibling? NUSA officials will tell you it's about ensuring freedom and safety. After all, the first things that come to people's minds when they hear North California are shifty nomadic families, illegal immigrants, and illegal immigrants, and violent criminals of every stripe. They'll say the wall is necessary for customs officers to prevent smugglings, and we're not just talking drugs. Markets on the rise for trafficking, including illegal cyberware assembled in old hangars, biotech equipment, and precious items from orbital stations and lunar colonies. There they are again. Even understand that when you cross the border, you willingly waive your rights to privacy, from having your face scanned and registered to your car being tracked by heavily armed drones that transmit your real-time coordinates to a rapid response defense system in orbit, all on the off chance you're in fact a terrorist. For the split second that you go through the security gates, Militech or whoever won the bid to secure the wall won't allow you to forget that you're in a potential war zone. And that's exactly what the wall is, a reminder of how fragile peace and the independence of our city is. As a night citizen, I see the wall relatively frequently. Thanks to that concrete monstrosity, there's really no other way to describe it. I always bear the cost of peace in mind. Is that good, bad? You decide for yourselves. Glam Now, the mag for those who love this for themselves. Heard about the latest and greatest brain dance diet? Our prediction: 2078's hottest new trend. BD diet advocate and world-beloved fashionista Amber Daisy is no stranger to us at Glam. In an exclusive interview, she shared her secrets and stories about the journey her body has been on. Amber has been keeping her intake of synth and organic products to a bare minimum over the past several months, and instead only experiences her meals through BDs. Oh my gosh. With a properly tuned BD, Amber says she dives in with a growling stomach but comes out of virtue feeling like she just finished binging at a banquet. Can we hope to see Amber back in America to promote this latest craze? We're keeping our fingers crossed. Bad news for all of you Carrie Aerodyne fans. The Rocker Boys nude stills that leaked to the net a few days back turned out to be FAKE, shopped by some poser boys from the dildos. The Star's managers confirmed the obvious giveaways, he said, were some fudge details of Carrie's iconic Filipino tattoos and some teeny tiny anatomical differences. That's glorious. Why does that other have a goddamn tag on it? Oh, so does this one? Okay, let's find out. I cannot believe that got cleared, though. Well, I have tarot cards. Cleared, I said. Let's check the tarot cards. We're already doing this. Ooh, it looks like... Oh, okay, now I actually get to look at them like this. Like Dragon Age Inquisition flashbacks. Oh, that looks cool. Now I do want to... I mean, they're on the map. They show you. I saw when I ran past it. I was trying to wrap up that last episode or whenever it was. Damn it. Messages. We have some messages. Cards for sale. Oh, that's a car one. I mean, it's nice, but no. Meredith, stout. Oh, right. How do I do this? This never happened. Sending you a package. Don't be such a tease, Meredith. Wait, I thought I sent that. Well, no, I guess I sent that. May our paths never cross again. Winky, winky, smiley face. I thought I replied. No? Then there's this one. Why was that one in orange and not in blue? I wonder what happened here. This one's weird to me. I don't know how to respond to this one right now. Let's do that when I'm actually, I deal with that. I should have probably read this when an episode was actually being recorded, because people have already skipped past this at this point. Hal's in deep shit. Merc needed. Hal's Cantos. Max Warehouse on Longshore North details. Got a call from Hal Cantos. Guys, a known quantity in the area's crack BD tuner. Used to work for WNS News till he got axed for fraud. His biz is strictly street now. Like it even matters. Hal's got himself in an interesting stitch. He was tuning at BD for the mocks and must have fucked up because one of the girls went off the handle, and after she put on the wreath started screaming and shouting at everything that moved. Hal managed to find a place to hide, but it's only a matter of time before she gets him. Oh no, I gotta put down a mocks? I don't want to do that. Well, I won't kill her. I'll try. You're gonna make sure that doesn't happen. Sending you the warehouse. Sending you with the warehouse coordinates where Hal's hold up. Again, in case you missed it, there's an active shooter in the building. Go in with your iron at the ready. Eddie's will reach you. Who has sent me? Regina? I'll try not to kill her. For once, I'll try, I said. Dinovic. Occupational hazard. Steal CCTV footage. Something's rotten in the city of dreams. A series of suicides, oh, this is a suicide one I couldn't find at the time, so I left it behind. The contagion mostly targets politicians, corporals, journalists, and police officers. The latest victim was Zola Barnes, a journalist who fell from the tracks. That's why it was above me. At Memorial Park Station, her death was officially maybe not officially ruled suicide, but Barnes' parents say that she went to meet one of her informants at the station and that she never would have taken her own life. I know. That's what all the parents say. Seems like the jury's still out. Nobody really knows what happened because every last shred of CCTV footage was wiped clean. Her parents tracked down the witnesses, but they didn't want to talk. And what's more, Militech took a keen interest in the whole thing. It's our turn to make heads or tails of this. Head to the station, breach the servers. Oh no. So I went down there, but I didn't do the job. Wait, I thought it was in Megacore 11 was where the servers were at. I'm getting confused now. Damn it. Anyways, head to the station, breach the servers, and download. I didn't download, so I didn't plug into a laptop. Shit. I'll have my code monkeys try to recover the deleted footage. P.S. Oh, and by the way, at the top... No, I have to do a drop-off here. I think I got it. I have to do a drop-off. Maybe. I don't remember. Shit. I'll have my code monkeys try to recover the deleted footage. Oh, and by the way, at the time, Zula was working on a piece about Brad Norwood, a Militech fanboy in the Night City Council. Anyway, it looks that piece is never getting published. PPS, transferring you Militech authorization. That'll get you into the station. That has to be. Cars for sale. Okay, that one looks pretty rad. V, come bearing good news. Scratch that. Pre-Muse got a Quandra Avenger for sale. Now this one's a fucking beauty. Let me tell you. The paint job, the interior, the rumble of that engine. Looking at her gets me a little hard. And I'm not even ashamed to admit it. A person who wouldn't buy this, and I mean stat, would be lame as hell. Just saying. Thanks, Dino. Oh my god, and with that, I'm going to wrap up this episode. Good lord, it's cleared. Except maybe some internet pages out there that it just is what it is. But yeah, when we come back, I'm going to go back and do the Takamura one, maybe, and then the Pan Am. We'll try to just start these and see which ones kind of motivate me, maybe to push forward. But I think I'm going to kick those off and then also do side quests on the go. But if I get wrapped up into more side quests out there, I'm gonna get I'm gonna do it for hours again. I feel it, because it's so easy. It's so easy to just go to, like, jump the map and find things to do, and it all feels so unique, and it encourages me to want to do more and more and more. So, but I'm gonna pad that out. Let's just push some more story stuff along, and then I'm gonna see where it goes. Okay, so I'll catch you there. Don't forget to explore, engage, and inspire, buddy. Peace.